Okay, one more minute. Hoping I remember where I left off last time. Okay, 7:15. Let's get started. I changed things up. I don't remember everything is on my desktop. Okay, mainstream. Alright, so, the hand. Last, it looks like I solved the hands, constrained this cheap hand that I had, and I did rig the hands in Maya. So I guess I'm going to take this into Maya, and then import the hands and attach it all together and see what I can make out of it. Get started in deforming. So I already did an export, so I have this going to my chosen folder. Hit OK, and with SYNTHEYE, the nice thing is that it tosses any export into your clipboard, so you can go Control O in Maya. And off to the side here, I can just hit paste, open. Alright, so now, the scale of the scene here is a little crazy. So I'm going to select my perspective camera, set its near clip, something like 5. Far clip, I'm just gonna spam a couple zeros in there. There we go. And I'm also going to select this image plane. I exported a undistorted version of this. If you don't know how to do that, when you apply your distortion, you can come over to Summary, Save Sequence, and you can export your JPEG version or whatever will run best in your chosen software. And here, I believe I typed in after here _UD. I did not. I don't remember what it's called now. So I'm just gonna, I select the folder, I'm just gonna navigate to wherever it is. Okay, so I have my sequence here, and oh, I typed in UD after the version. Okay. So select the first frame, open. And now we have this, and I'm going to go use image plane, ACOM, hello. Having a good day, are we? And depth, I'm going to change the depth of the plane. I'm going to hit another 0 back there. And let's split our view. I'm going to swap one of our panels to our camera 1, and this panel I like to have a perspective right off to the side. And we don't need to see the image plane. You never really need to see the image plane from a camera in your viewport, so I'm going to go looking through camera only. There. Alright, so my image plane is not showing up in my camera view. Actually, there's no animation. What happened? 1001. Oh, I should be... Okay, my frame range is wrong, so I got to be at 1001 to 1061. There we go, there's my keys from my camera. I can select my camera, see the keys, and we are laughing. So clicking onto that first frame, so we can see the motion, but we can't see the image plane. That's because I pushed that image plane really far away. So I'm going to select my camera, come over to clipping, going to add a couple zeros over to far clip, and near clip I'm going to make it like 5. I try not to have the near and the far clip at such extremes, because then you start to have weird artifacts going on, and things just look kind of stupid. So here we have our shot playing. Have my hand, have the trackers. Cool. So there's our solve. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup within my outliner. So here I'm going to go open it up. The object, I'm just going to drag it outside of the group. Okay, we'll drag it there for now. Actually, I could have just shift P'd it. and guy, hand, sphere. I don't need this stuff. That's just, those were just nulls for the objects that you had placed in SYNTHEYE. And the camera, I'm gonna bake it out. Now, I have a button for this, for track. Like if I hit cam bake at track, we have a script that bakes it out for you, keeps the animation and whatever, keeps your zooming lens. But for people to do that manually, I just undid it. You can take your camera, duplicate it, Shift P, get it out into the world space. Now select your original camera and your new camera, spacebar, constraint, parent, and now this camera is going to be following the animation of your original camera. So you can take this, edit, keys, bake simulation, and then you can delete this constraint. So now your camera will have the animation. You would just have to plug in your image plane to it again. So I'm going to take that camera, delete it. I'm just going to use my easy script, go camera bake. Of course, you can find a script like that online probably, or make one. I can't. I'm not that technical. So here's our camera. At track VFX, we name things like shot cam underscore, what was this? Hand 001. And then we typically put the frames, like we would go 61 FMS, because apparently that number is valuable to some people. I don't need it. I don't care for it. So I'm just not going to use it on mine. And the trackers for the camera, I'm going to name them locators. Akam, where we can find? Where we can find? What are you looking for? So now, object. Object, I like to keep this out of the way because this is the original animation for the object solve. Typically, if I have my hand or any objects down here that I want to follow the track, I like to constrain it to this. And this I don't typically touch. I like to have the original track, whatever it is, just sitting around. It's just me. Script? Oh, I have no idea where to find. I have no clue. I don't typically search for scripts myself. I don't know. I don't use scripts a whole lot. Because depending on the script, you're not going to always have those tools at other studios if you were to move around and stuff. I just don't typically look for scripts for me. So I'm not very good at knowing about or knowing where scripts are. There is one, I just can't remember the name of it, where you can get some baking tools and stabilizers, but I can't remember what it is. I'll have to try to remember what that is, because I am going to use a stabilizer on here. Yeah. But I'm going to try and avoid scripts for a little bit here. Sorry, my arm hurts. Got a big scratch on it. I fell down those stairs. And I won't have to deal with those stairs anymore now that I'm moving in a month. So that's nice. Alright, so let's import the hands. I'm going to hit Control I. And off to the side, I'm just going to go and find the hands. Alright, so don't know why this back camera is here. I'm gonna bring that up. So I have my camera, locators, and the hands themselves. If I go in here, Akam, why? How come you put hat on? How come I put a hat on? Ah, sometimes I wear a hat. I don't wear it very often. Sometimes I don't know. Not typically a hat guy, but sometimes it's comfy. Plus it's cold in my apartment right now. So the hands here. Let's go shading, X-ray joints. And let me just see how things are again, just so I can remember what I did. So I have this. Cool. Let's turn on wireframe and shaded. Nice. And I believe that I can scale these. Bigger hand, cool, and I can scale them up for that. If I wanted, I can scale just one of these. And this all works, right? Cool. All right. So, we have the hand. Okay, yeah, let's get started. I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget anything because this stuff can get confusing for me. So we have our track up here. I am going to make a little control that I will parent to this. Wait, actually, I'm going to make a control. I'm going to go locator, put it under the object track. I'm going to call this hand underscore reposition. So I'm not going to parent my hand to the actual track itself because if I want to move the hand around underneath, I won't be able to. I'm going to parent the hand to this repo thing, which I can move this around. Let me snap this up here. What's a good frame to put this on? Oops, my frame rate got changed. 1001. Can you share the music in the background? Can I share the music in the background? I could. Like, share it? Like, how do you want it shared? Or unless you just want to know what it is. I made it. I composed it. I made this for a short film that I'm going to be doing soon. I just gotta find some time to film it. Now that I'm suddenly gonna move, I don't have time to plan it out as much as I want to. But this was a bit of music that I wrote for it, so I'm not too sure. I mean the name. Oh, the name. I called it Going for a Stroll, but on like SoundCloud I called it Nowhere Stroll. I like Nowhere Stroll more. Yeah, I hope that helped. Oh, I should turn it down too. It's amazing. Thank you. I'm trying to dive deeper into composing some stuff. Really trying. And now, okay, so hand. So I have the hand here. I'm going to first position this hand on a frame that I like. I should have did that from the start. Also, let's put this repo. Oh yeah, I was gonna pick where I want this repo control. I think I want this by a knuckle. On the surface too. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna keep it right there. So let's pick a frame to pose this hand out. So I'm gonna pose. I like this here. Very visible. Everything is very visible. And that is my my right hand. So I'll drag it up. I am going to select the meshes, which I can't select right now because I made a display layer over here and one is set to reference, so I'll turn that off. And both of the geo is showing. Is it low res, high res? I'll select both of them. Now right click. Assign favorite material, use background. So now we get this pass through, but I can't see it now. So, oh, the sound's a little bit loud still. Okay. Now, here I'm going to come up here and turn on wireframe on shaded. And let's just try to guide this hand, and we're going to position this hand using the camera view and using the locators. So I'm going to come over and let's scale up the trackers on the hand. Okay, so let's hit 4 on my keyboard. Also, I'm going to select the meshes and go shift, right click, polygon display, toggle backface culling. So I don't have to look at that. Okay, so it looks like the front of the hand, it looks like my hand is too thick. So, because the back of my hand, we have a tracker right here, a point up here. So the back of my hand I'm kind of happy with, but the palm, this needs to go in more. So I'm going to select all the joints here, and I'm going to only scale them on Y. Actually, let's select this one down here as well. And now I'm going to take the whole hand. Let's bring it back. Let's see how we are. Got a couple points there. Actually, I'm going to thicken this a little bit. So select that. Select this, 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 and this. Give it a little bit more thickness. There we go. That looks more like my hand. Alright, and now, also in this view, just to make it quicker, I don't normally show my joints in this view. I like to just see the wireframe and how it fits. But let's go shading, X-ray joints. And here, let's start to position this stuff to fit my fingers. So this one here, let's bring it over. And this joint here, a lot of rigs that we get at work and for general projects are quite restricting because they kind of lock you out a lot of controls, but see how easy it is for me just to take the joints that I made and just fit this however I please. It's very nice when clients just let me do my thing. Also, it looks like the palm is too long, so I'm going to select this, 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 and we can scale on the X. Actually, it was pretty good. It looks like it's just this one. And also, I'm going to rotate it over. Okay, so this finger looks like it might be curling in a bit this way, but it looks like the fingers on this mesh are just a bit too long. First, let me see how well I can position the rest of these first. This one. Once I attach this to the track and we start to scrub the timeline and see this hand rotate, we'll see how the fingers are actually kind of lined up, and we're going to further sculpt this hand a bit. So this one, it looks like I can take the whole side of the hand and bring it over here. Looks like my pinky is short on the mesh, or I just have a long pinky. I don't know what to think now. Man, are my fingers long? That's wrong. Okay, so it looks like my middle finger is likely outwards a bit. Extend the length. Because my middle finger is longer. And it looks like my ring finger is going to want to get... Wait, what's the max that we can do with this? Okay, so that's kind of the max for that finger. So there's something wrong with the middle finger. Looks like I might have to scale this up even more. Rotate it backwards. Okay. Oh, by the way, I should mention, if you bake your camera, select your camera, Control A, get to the channels, make sure that you lock the transition, lock everything. Just click and drag, highlight it all, right click, lock selected. Because right now, when you're doing stuff like this, you really don't want to hit Alt and accidentally rotate and move or zoom your camera in with the scroll wheel. Because that will screw up your track, and sometimes it doesn't undo correctly. So sometimes you'll move the camera and, oh crap, you can't undo it. And now you have to go into the graph editor and mess with and clean up the curves. Okay, index finger, how much shorter is it? So my index finger is shorter than my ring. It's nice that it's my own hand and I can reference this. But is my finger... Oh. Select all the bits. This doesn't seem right. Could be. Again, we have to see the shot moving. Let's see if I can get this bit up a bit more. Scale that down. Trying to get the webbing a little bit. Looks like I can move this over a bit. There we go. Got that. Now rotate it back. Then I'll correct this finger. Okay, so there's our lineup to our track. And hopefully, like, what's this? That's on my wrist. Okay, so it looks like my arm and my wrist. Oop. Okay, so that's going to give us some trouble. Looks like I gotta bring this ahead. Now I've slightly damaged my positions for everything else by moving that root joint. But that is fine. I'll have to sculpt this part later. Again, I'm just watching the surface points on the skin. Oh yeah, the knuckle points. I should have been referencing the knuckle points. So, Calvin, like you know I'm new in 3D. It's been a couple months. Start learning Maya, but many advice to learn Blender. What do you think? Many advise to learn Blender. Depends on what you want to do. What kind of work do you want to do? Like, do you want to work within studios? Like, if you want to work within studios, don't learn Blender. Blender does not rig or animate as well as Maya. Blender doesn't do effects as well as Houdini. Blender doesn't composite as well as Nuke. Blender doesn't sculpt as well as ZBrush, but it's close. Honestly, I would even debate that modeling isn't even that amazing in Blender. It is amazing, don't get me wrong. Blender is an awesome piece of software. It just depends on what you want to do. Like, if you're doing freelance stuff, you could learn Blender. And because if clients are going to ask you to do something like, oh, they need you to put a sign on a street. Yeah, Blender can do that. You can track in Blender, model, texture, and do all that in Blender. Composite it in Blender. Like a lot of freelance stuff and whatever, Blender is totally fine for. But it's if you want to work within a studio pipeline in the industry, Blender doesn't do a lot of the things as well as other software that is specially designed to do those things. Yeah, I love Blender. I've been using it for a long time. I just don't think it's ready yet. And I don't like people saying, well, Blender can do this. Maya can't do all these things. Well, it doesn't matter that you can do everything. It's can you do each individual thing well? Can you do it amazing? And can it justify, like, no one's ever going to want to do effects for a big, crazy blockbuster movie. No one's ever going to do that in Blender. So that's my thoughts on it. Compositing, if you're gonna composite, nobody wants to do it in Blender. But yeah, and it depends on what you're gonna do. Like Blender definitely has its place. It's also being used more in startup companies, and we use it a little bit at Track VFX, but we only use it for kind of like decimating meshes, and that's about it. But yeah, Blender, like this, what I'm doing with this hand right now, Blender can't do. Okay, Blender can rig a hand, obviously. You can model and rig a hand. You can do this part. But when I start to get into the fine deformations and stuff, you can't do this in Blender. Yeah, so if you were looking in the match move, I wouldn't recommend Blender. And which is weird to say because Blender has a built-in solver, built-in tracker. Alright, so I'm going to take this wrist, move it over. I need to get back into Blender. Blender is such a fun program to use. There, so we've thickened out my arm a bit. Ooh, I don't like what my middle finger here is doing. There we go. It looks like I gotta move this back a bit more. Okay, so I think I'm okay with how things are fitting at the moment, but once I plug this in, we're going to start to see different things once it's in motion. I wonder how many people will watch this. Like, no one's really watching the stream right now, and also there won't be a lot of people watching the stream for a little while, because how I swapped the channel over. Once there's a couple streams on the channel, I'm going to put a video on the main channel saying, hey, here's where things are happening. I just want a couple streams to appear there first. But yeah, I wonder if anybody will watch this back and just hate me after what I said about Blender. Now, yeah, the Blender community is way too passionate. Being passionate's good, but man, I used to follow a lot of Blender groups and all they do is bash on other software, and it's yeah, but their reasons are silly. Okay, I'm gonna constrain this now. I think I'm pretty comfortable. So, I'm going to take the root and I'm going to go up to my hand repo control. Actually, I'm going to select my hand repo. This is the point that I want to use to move and pivot my hand around. You can make your control wherever you want. You can make it at the wrist, you can make it under a knuckle or something. Oh, by the way, I'm not ready to constrain this yet. I remembered what I was going to do. But yeah, your main controller that's going to let you move your hand around if you have to. You can put that wherever you want, honestly. I chose the kind of the knuckle area at the back because I'm kind of comfortable pivoting the hand around from there, I think. Okay, so the thing that I forgot I was going to do. I was going to make sure that these knuckles lined up with the trackers. So that was a dumb thing I forgot. So I'm going to select this. There we go. This one, bring it ahead. Same with the pinky. There we go. Those knuckle points are now at the center where they should be, and now let's see how off I was. Hey, there we go. So I'm going to take this. Let's do our bit of scaling work now that I was supposed to do. So this boy is going down. I'm gonna try not to move the pinky like this. If I wanted the bottom of the pinky to move over, I really want to take this joint and move this whole guy. Just so that there isn't any weird kinks in the skin. Just to avoid that. Danasa, hello. You've come to see, I was gonna make a joke, I shouldn't. Also, this pinky here, now I can select this. Oh, that doesn't look that good. I can scale it down a little bit before it gets ugly looking. Okay, we gotta move this one over. Now the finger, I'm gonna rotate over here a bit. Yeah, now that I've kind of cleaned up that position a little bit more, definitely gotta scale this down. How much did I miss? Honestly, not much. You didn't miss too much. All I've been doing was ripping on Blender and positioning this hand to my track on one frame. I didn't do anything fancy yet. I've literally just grabbed the hands that I made from last stream and I've been moving it around and posing it to match up with the solve points and the locators and the knuckle points that I got out of SYNTHEYE. I'm just posing it. Akam, do you prefer mouse instead of Wacom tablet? No, when I move and I have a better desk, a full desk where I can fit my piano and my Wacom SYNTHEYE. I have my SYNTHEYE right here. I'm using it as a third monitor right now so I can see chat and whatever easier. But I prefer tablet. I will be full tablet in Maya eventually. Unfortunately, it's hard to use a tablet and pen for SYNTHEYE, so I won't be doing that. But Maya, Blender, obviously Photoshop and all this, like, yeah, using a pen I think works really well in a lot of software. Once you start to figure out their radial menus, and yeah, they're built pretty well for tablets. A lot of people don't typically see that. Okay, so this finger had to be... Wacom is great, but you need to get a good desk to go along with it. Yeah, you do. Because if you're going to use a pen, you need good posture. A mouse, it's kind of easy to do whatever you want, but a pen, it's nice to be straight, have your wrist at the proper elbow resting wherever it needs to rest. So yeah, certainly a lot nicer to have that. Okay, so let's see. This ring finger needs to be a little bit shorter than the middle. This one here, but I don't want to shorten this, so I'm going to bring this backwards. I'm going to lengthen this up a bit, just because I know my own hand. I can see that my middle is much longer than the ring. So let's take the base, bring it back, there we go. And now last finger again, which actually, the index looks like it's already doing pretty nicely. How long is it though? That needs to be shorter. Oh, I don't want to rotate a finger sideways like this, like a noodle. I want to take the base point, rotate it over a little bit if I have to, and then take the top and bend it forward or back if I have to. Try to treat your joints like actual bones in your hand. Like, my finger is not going to bend over like this way. It can't. So, you know, turn the base of your finger so you can always curl it around whichever way you need to. Also, this finger here, if I zoom in, you can see it can stand to be thickened a little bit. So I'm going to go scale, hold control, and hit X. There we go. The top, I could scale it a touch there. Yeah. Here, I'll take this middle one. I'm not going to scale that one too much at all. That's going to have to be sculpted later manually. Let's see. I think I might be good again. Last time I said I was good, I accidentally forgot that I had to line up the knuckles. You know, I'm going to shorten this one here, actually. You can see the webbing in my finger is a bit too high, so I'm going to scale down this. And now, I got to scale up that finger again. Lengthen all of these. Cool. So, that would be my hand posed out. That thumb feels weird. That thumb doesn't seem right. I think the thumb needs to go back. Take this forward. Yeah, that's wrong. Let's just take this. Oop. Let me eyeball this here. John. I worked in a studio using professional software for a while. Now doing freelance, I've been getting better into Blender. Calvin's advisor. Yeah, Blender, man, Blender's so awesome, dude. I would love to do freelance where I could just jump into Blender because the work would be just perfect for Blender, man. Such a fun program. Let's take this. I don't like the skin here. That's a weighting problem. That's going to be a little bit of work when I go and manually deform this, which we will be jumping into soon, thankfully. Let's bring that up. Try to get that joint to match with the actual joint in my thumb. I should rotate this a bit too. Try to match the rotations of your finger if you didn't get your finger right, which I didn't. Just zoomed ahead now. Nice. Oh, sorry. I was a while back in the stream video. Nice. Just zoomed ahead now. Good to see you caught up. Hold on. I'm going to rotate this here because I messed up this one a bit. There we go. Because I got a bit of a kink in the mesh there. Again, be careful of those kinks. Hashtag kink shaming. Oh, this is so bad here. Wait, is that a locator right there? What is that? Oh, here's the surface of my skin, and then there's the center of the joint. Wow, okay, this needs to go... That's why this was screwed up. I didn't do this one. So there's that joint centered. Now I can take this. Danasa, I'm learning Blender right now. I'm currently on part 6 of the donut. I did the donut. Hold on, I gotta show you my donut now. Hold on, it's pretty quick. I have it here. Posted it to Instagram. But, like, you know, who cares about a donut? Here's my donut. There's my Blender donut. By the famous Blender guru. But I put little track VFX sprinkles on it. So, yeah, can I zoom this? I don't know. Anyway, there's little track VFX sprinkles on this donut. I'm pretty proud of that. So, appreciate the donut. Okay. Okay, so this thumb here, I'm going to bring this right over. Bring that in, and looks like I got to scale that. My donut is extremely lumpy. I would like to see your donut. Danasa, I don't know. Are you on my Discord? You could send it there. Somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where you'd post on my Discord. I try to keep it all tracking, but honestly, people can post whatever they want. I'm excited to see anything. I should make a new channel if anybody just wanted to show their renders and stuff, because I'm interested. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this for now. The thumb was a little funny, but the thumb I'm gonna have to sculpt a bit with clusters. So I think this is posed. I think we are happy with this. Yeah, the thumb looks way better. Fingers look decent. The skin surface there is a little bit closer. Cool, so I posed the hand, and now I'm going to attach it to the track. I made a little control here. So this object 1, this is the raw track. I'm just going to call this hand track, because this is out of SYNTHEYE, it's just the object track itself. And there's the locators for the points, and I made a locator on the back of the knuckle of the hand, because this one I'm going to use to repo the hand. So I'm going to select my hand repo, then I'm going to select my root joint, spacebar, constraint, parent. And I'm going to go into options, make sure that maintain offset is on, because I don't want this hand to snap up to that control. Add. Okay, moment of truth. I'm going to scrub. First I'm going to go hand repo, make a key here. See this hand repo? See, I can move it now and rotate it if I have to. But anyway, let's scrub. Please. Oh, it's not terrible. Oh, thank you. It's not terrible. That's not too bad, man. What was I on? 1044? I'm gonna name I'm gonna name like hand track or something. I'm gonna go like underscore frame 1044. I just want to remember the frame that I did this pose on. Here's the thing. I'm gonna select. Wait, hold on. Just posted my donut on Discord. I want to see it. Where'd you show? Oh yeah, show off your work. Totally, you can put it there. Nice. This little bit here looks kind of funny. What happened here? Be interested to see when you get a render of it going. Man, I would love to get more into Blender just so I could teach some Blender. Because like, I would love to get more into having some Blender users that are willing to show off their work. Such cool stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna scrub, see what the fingers are doing. I'm happy with... I actually am happy with how the fingers were posed. Because I can go over here now, it looks like... Yeah, that kind of fits there. Okay, cool, yeah, I'm happy with this. So, on 1044, I'm gonna select all... Actually, let's start from the tip so I can see it. I'm gonna select all the joints. You could probably make a script that'll find all your joints. Right now I have a weird group. Actually, I could totally just find it here, couldn't I? Right hand. You do have to... No, I'm not going to do it that way. You have to expand it all. Oh, I could turn the selection things off. I don't usually do this, though. So I'm going to select all this. Huh? Get out of here. Really, Maya? Really? You're not going to select all the joints? You're only going to select the parent level? That's annoying. Danasa, is the YouTube chat more delayed than Twitch's? That's a good question. That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Would love to learn Maya, Houdini, ZBrush, Substance, Mari, etc. Oh man, that's ambitious, man. Mari is not a fun one to learn. You're gonna jump into Mari and you're just gonna hate it. But Mari is definitely, you know, that's a powerhouse in texturing. Substance is getting real close. It can do its UDIMs and you can paint across UDIMs now. I I'm only ever going to use Substance. I'm not a texture artist. But yeah, Substance still I don't think is as powerful as Fast painting across Udums as Mari is. But Mari has a weird projection painting style and it's so irritating. 10-second delay could be my internet. But I don't know how to get motivation to learn those. Yeah, Calm, you gotta... Yeah, you gotta, like, think of a really cool shot or think of something that you would be so proud of when for the end result. For me, I'm not good with doing a single shot. I like it to be a part of a bigger project. That's why I've done a couple of little short projects in the past. It motivated me to actually learn the software I needed. Yeah, it's just, you gotta find something. Find something you want to do with those skills. So let me select all the fingers because now I know that that method doesn't want to take them all at just a per joint level. There we go, selected them all. I'm gonna go Shift W, key the translate, Shift R, or Shift E, and key the rotate. And I'm also gonna hit Shift R to key the scale. Twitch is faster. Yeah, Twitch is... Oh, I should have known that too. I did know that. Twitch is faster. Okay, so now we've keyed this, and I keyed that there because now I'm gonna start going to other... Oh no. Wait, one sec. I gotta undo those keys. I can't key the root joint because the root joint has a constraint on it to follow that track. And since I keyed it, it destroyed that link. So I'm gonna deselect the root, key all of this, Shift W, E, R. Now it follows. That's a good thing to remember. Whatever, if you have something constrained, you can't key it. I'm gonna try switching to... Oh, you did it already. Yeah, Twitch. Oh, I read that already. Yeah. Okay. Now for the hard, scary parts. This is where I start to dread Rotomanim. I hate Rotomanim. I'm not good at it. I'm pretty decent at hands. Like, I can get a pretty good end result if I work hard enough at a Rotomanim. I don't like it though. Can you retarget your current Rotoanim rig into a new hand? I don't know enough about that. I don't know enough about retargeting and how it works. I'd imagine you can. I'd imagine... I don't know, like, do you have to make your joints in a certain way? Do they have to match the joints of the other rig? Do the names, like, I have R, L, like, for this stuff, is there a certain naming scheme that will be read and then link over to other joints or something? Yeah, I don't know how that works. I'd imagine you probably can. Akam, the other day I was watching animating in Maya. Man, it's painful. Yeah. It is rough. Yeah, animating is tough to do. Okay, so... Oh, I don't like the back of the hand. That's not good. I might sculpt that out. Okay, so I'm at this point where I just really don't want to go with this because I don't like Rotoanim. Like when I see this and like, oh, I have to pose it again on some keyframes. It's going to be easier to pose it now. It gets easier the more frames you pose it. It's just I'm at the bottom of the mountain, looking up at the top, looking for the summit, and I can't even see the summit because there's so many clouds. So yeah, I'm just kind of standing at the base of the mountain thinking, there's so much I have to do. So the thing with this too is, I'm not going to do the whole hand. I'm not going to stream doing the whole, like, every single detail everywhere because that is insane. That is multiple days of work. I'm going to try and do one finger and maybe a bunch of the thumb. This is enough just to show you guys what you got to do. Okay, so I'm going to go maybe here. Let's just jump in. I'm just going to go for it. Because otherwise I'm never going to do it. So I'm gonna go, let's see, grab this. Looks like the scale on my finger was already terrible. So I'm gonna select this, this, this. I'm gonna scale it all up. Oh, by the way, it's unnatural to have, oh, one sec. Danasa, it's 2020, Cal. You can just use Google Map to see the summit. That is a level of lazy unheard of. Okay, I want to say real quick. I am going to animate the scale of the fingers across this shot. That's fine. Different people will get mad at you for different things. Some clients will see that maybe your scale changes. Most of the time, they will never notice this too, because this doesn't matter. But sometimes, if they know that you scaled the finger's length a little bit and animated it, your fingers don't change length. It doesn't matter. If they're doing, let's say there's a smoke simulation and their hand has to pass through it, your hand extending in length doesn't change anything. If some animated characters are going to crawl across your fingers like ants or something and your finger scaling, it's not going to change anything unless it's like an extreme double the length of a finger kind of a scale. If you're doing textures, like kind of what I would like to do to this hand, but I'm probably not going to. I'm likely not going to ever finish the shot. I don't want to. But if you were going to texture your hand, put some veins or some magic powers coursing through your skin or something, that's a texture sticking. So long as your mesh looks like it's sticking from the camera, it's fine. Some people will, Chow, you got this? Oh man, I hope so. So yeah, if you're going to be texturing or putting something subdermal into your skin, scaling things and animating the scale, so long as you don't go overboard with it and have these freakishly long features that are changing length, you're fine. You could do a little bit of scaling, and you're going to see me do that here. Because you can't, it's hard for you to get the exact measurement of things. You can't just guess it all the time. So here I'm going to scale this. You just got to make sure that it's close and nothing pops around, nothing is janky. It has to be smooth. Yeah, Danasa. Yeah, that's why I wonder about the retarget, because I'm still thinking of the robot hands and a rigid object. That's a good point. Yeah, if that were the case, you would want to provide that rig to a match move artist, or you would want to use that. If you were going to retarget, here's the thing. If you're going to have CG, like a CG arm, don't even worry about having a perfect match move. There's no point. Because you should just get the, if your finger's moving, just do quick block-ins, like don't make it stick. Just replace it with your CG. It doesn't have to stick. And because you're replacing it, if you discover your robot hand isn't long enough to cover your finger, it doesn't matter. Just paint out your hand and just leave your robot hand and let it do what it wants. You could retarget it then. You can retarget the translate and the you can retarget the rotations. Just don't target the scale. So you're still fine. Yeah, this finger, it looks like the scale of this one I got way off. I might use these scales to fix that frame later on, but you know, we're just gonna block in this hand and see what kind of errors and stuff we have to fix as we go. By the way, this is where things get very boring. So this is kind of the long haul part. I'm not gonna do. I might say that I'm not gonna do the whole shot. Yeah. I'm going to Shift WER everything that I move. I'm gonna key all channels on everything, and so that I don't have to select everything all at the end of these adjustments. And then, you know, that's going to be a huge pain. So let's take this over. Yeah, I butchered the scale on everything. Oh no, the thumb's pretty good. I just have to rotate the thumb out this way. Let's scale this out a little bit. Yeah, there's a curvature in the thumb that, like, if I was properly weight painting all this, this would be a good part. This would be a good part for me to properly weight, because my thumb, when I rotate it, it doesn't keep a consistent form. That'll be sculpted later. Calvin, do you think Keen Tools can job done easy than you do? It depends. Keen Tools to me has limitations still. Limitations that I don't think that it'll ever fully be rid of. If Keen Tools is kind of like Mocha, where the advertisements and some of the projects I've seen it do are shots that are very ideal for it. So there's a lot of tough shots. Keen Tools for this hand, I don't think Keen Tools would do very easily. I can't remember though. Keen Tools will likely rotate your joints decently, but there's deforming skin, and I don't think it's possible for Keen Tools to, let's say it rotates the joints, but then there's deforming flesh in between. So that flesh has to warp. But what direction does it warp in? Does the skin compress in? Does it come out? Does it slide left, right? So I don't know if Keen Tools will be able to handle all that, unless they make a special hand where all the mesh in the skin knows that it is only allowed to surface slide across its planar angle. That sounds kind of possible, but again, skin like this, there's no detail there. I don't know. Keen Tools has surprised me a lot in the past. Gotta take this pinky, scale it up. This part here, we're gonna actually bring this out. If anybody listens to the Adam McKay podcast, he just did a pretty long interview with the founder of Keen Tools, or the creator of Keen Tools, however you want to word that. That was pretty interesting to listen to. Okay, so I'm just going to select all these, scale them. Okay, so there's a couple frames blocked in. Now let's go get an extreme one. Let's try right here once my fist turns and closes. Okay, so this is one of those areas that I was just kind of dreading. So when you do this, your hand, so your fingers kind of come down a bit, and your knuckle doesn't really get closer to your wrist, but your finger and your skin is going to come and compress downwards, decreasing, and it's going to increase the volume here. The NASA, I love Adam McKay's podcast. Also Effects Guys interviews. Yeah. So yeah, you can see a lot of skin there has kind of packed itself up. So let's see what I can do here. I'm going to scale up. Let's see. I'm going to scale this bit. First, let's roll the finger in as close as we can. Yeah, this is already terrifying. Again, this is like close to the point where I just sit at work and I cry. Just thinking, okay, I'm stuck doing this for a week or two or something. So how far can I rotate this before it looks stupid? Not very much. Let's take this, bring it out. So looks like I gotta scale this one out a bit. So which one is that? Okay. Actually, let me just keep these views open. Bring that in. This one's got to scale up as well. Does this demotivate anybody for match move? Does this just look horrifying to anybody? I'm curious if seeing something like this is like, no, I'm gonna find another career now. Or another career goal. Let's bring this down. Here we go. Matching that joint to the center of the joint. So this thumb here, it looks like my thumb is coming and touching the top of my index knuckle right there, or joint. So either my thumb has to get longer or my finger is going to have to rotate over here in some way. Or why not both? So I'm going to select this, 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 scale the thumb up so that it can come over and touch the back, rest on top of my finger. And now here you can see that it's connecting with the finger there, it's penetrating through. You could see that contact. Bring that up. So once again, I'm going to take all of these, Shift R or WER, scale all those channels. And now these ones back here, these don't look as hard because we don't see the fingers. Oh, I'm actually just going to select all of them. Give them a quick and sloppy rotate. And now it looks like I just want to come over here and maybe bring down the knuckle because I see a knuckle right there. So this one looks like we're going to bring it down. The pinky looks fine. The middle, so we can see that tracker point on the skin right there. Bring that right back, and I'll scale it down. Looks like my geometry is starting to act a little funny. It's not too bad, really. So that's nice. Just want to make sure that things aren't too absurd. Thankfully, the way things look there, it kind of looks like my knuckles a bit. So that's good. Okay, so when I said the pinky was fine, it looks like the pinky, there's some skin over here. So let's see if we can bring it ahead a bit and then rotate it back. Hey, that looks much better. All right, so now let me select all of these. And once again, Shift WER. And now the arm, so again, the benefit of why I rigged it like I did. So the arm, we can bring it out. So just looking at my own arm. Looks like my arm might be somewhere over here, and I have to thin it up a little bit. It's not too easy. I'm going to make it thicker at by the wrist because that's more important than the arm. And the arm, if I want to scale it down, I can tweak that later. Okay, so again, WER. And I keyed all the channels for this stuff as well. You know what? Actually, I think I can. Oh, I can make a selection, a group. Hold on. I'm going to select all the joints one last time, hopefully. And this one. Now that I have this, I'm going to go space, create. sets, and I can come over here to the options for set. I'm gonna call this, I don't know, key these, wait, key all channels. Okay. Let's call it hand. Oops. I've never done this before, so I'm just going to pretend that's the name that I want to go with. So I'm going to hit apply and close. So what did that do? If I go open up the outliner, I have a hotkey, Alt 0. If you, for some reason, don't know how to open the outliner, come up to Windows Outliner. Okay, so I can collapse my rig and everything, so I don't have to look at that. So if we look at the bottom, we have this stuff, these selection sets. Key all channels. If I open this up, there's all the joints, just the ones I want to key. And I don't have to worry about, because I couldn't select them properly within my hand rig. So yeah, so I can just keep this around and I can just quickly select them all. Now key them. There we go. Why don't I do this? This is new to me. I'm going to be doing that at work now. Okay, I'm excited. No one else is excited. Okay, so the hand looks awful down here. Wow. Anyway, you can kind of see we have the gist of this going. We have the rotomation. We have a bit of the rotomation going. By the way, something like this. So now that I've gotten two important poses, the stuff in between, let's just pretend I was going quick. We can do this really fast now. And sometimes you don't even have to worry about the exact spatial accuracy. What is that? Oh. You could start to get even faster and sloppier with this stuff as you go. So I paid no attention to how these should look in space. I made them really goofy looking. Sometimes, see, this sometimes works for clients. And they'll tell you if you could be sloppy with it, or do you have to be absolutely perfect. Like, communicate with your client if you can. Like, if it's just for smoke, this isn't going to matter. Yeah, anyway, there's stuff that this won't, if you're going to, I don't know, some rough lighting shouldn't hurt too bad for this. I'm going to undo those. But I'll probably do that again exactly like that. But you can see it'll get faster. It will get faster once you get your main poses for your hand. Also effects guide. I just read Danas's message again for some reason. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do another pose. Let's see if I can rotate these to get them higher. No, I can't, so we'll scale them. Grab this. Can I rotate to get it higher? Yes, I can. And I'll rotate it using the bottom to get it side to side. And once again, I can rotate that. It got a little higher. Okay, so, also down here, looks like I can take this, bring it over, then I'll rotate the finger. The thumb, can I get this to fit a little better? Looks like I can. Just a bit. Okay, so I'll select all these again, key all the channels. There we go. Now I like this frame, so let's get in now. Lengthen this up a bit. Calvin, if you had time to make full SYNTHEYE course for effects PhD, Calvin, if you had time, Would I make a course for effects PhD? I would love to. But, I don't know. I again, like, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just doing it online. Having fun, helping people. Oh, there's general chat in Discord. What's that? I found that I was using the new version of SYNTHEYE, and often the previous solution was still normal. And the next time there was hundreds of... the old version does not seem to exceed... You is right. Hold on, I'm just gonna like this thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would, I think that'd be pretty cool to do something. Yeah, but people know you better. People know me better? What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean by that? I'm lost. It made it sound like I secretly am a money fiend. But only people I know or people know me better, like they know that I do want to benefit super on everything. I don't know. I'm just making a joke. Yeah, I'm not too sure what you meant. Yeah, but people know you better if you do course. Oh, you mean like people would know that I've done some things and they might be more likely to come and do the course? If that's what you mean, I think that sounds like what you mean. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not at a point where I would feel comfortable making people pay because I'm not like, let's say Matt Merck. Matt Merck could probably do a great course. He's so technical and he knows like nearly every little detail of the software. So he'd probably very fluidly make a course. Like I still go into a course. I still, like, if I'm making a tutorial, I get so like, oh, now I have to re-research what that thing is now. And the more that I research, the more that I think, if I put this course up onto a site, have people pay for it, did I teach them the best way that I could? Was there a better method that I could have taught? Because I'm still learning new methods and better ways to do things, but I'm going to feel real bad if I put up a course, have people pay for it, and then later on YouTube, I'm like, oh, by the way, I figured out this better thing. Coda, hello. Akam, I'm horrible. Nah, you're not horrible. Oh, the English. Sorry, I didn't see your other message. Hello, Coda. If you just jumped in, here's a bit of the hand. So it's getting somewhere. It's making some progress. Just blocking out the major frames at the moment. Akam, effects PhD details. Danasa. Yeah, I have the same thoughts when making tutorials. Yeah. Akam, that's the only course on effects PhD. Wait, let's see that. Hold on. Tracking challenges.
Hello. I want to show you some of the shots that we are going to be using on the...
I muted that because I can't hear it. I have the sound off on my speakers. So I'm just going to watch this and, we don't want to hear sound. Oh, he's using phases. I like how his points aren't matching the seeds. This looks awesome. Yeah, all his points look super centered. That looks nice. wonder why his line comes out like this. Oh, it looks like he masked it for auto. Okay. Man, I don't like that auto stuff, or selecting ground points. Because, like, it looks like he grabbed these points to tell SYNTHEYE this is the ground of the scene, but it's not. Like, this is, your horizon. You should be using the perspective of the houses, and then you should use your points to model the uneven level of the ground. Because if I had snow or rain falling in this scene, I don't want the flattest thing to be the ground, because that ground is not going to be level. I want my rain to fall perfectly down, or something. I want the perspective lines of the buildings. But this is probably just a very basic beginner thing, maybe. So it's, you know. He probably has I haven't seen the course. There's probably good reasoning for whatever he's doing. Cool. Yeah, I'd have to think about that, because like I don't know. I'd have to watch some people and see what kind of level they're at, and see if there's anything that I could offer that isn't already offered. So let me pose this. This here, I don't know if this finger here could stand to be rotated or not. I'm just going to, this one I'm going to keep just like that. Let's take this control down here and move it over a bit. Akam, there is no any good tutorial. Akam, telling it like it is. Yeah, I'd have to try some stuff, because I've seen a couple of tutorials, like when I was with Zoic and Hydraulics and other studios, like they have accounts and whatever, like they pay for this stuff, so they let people take turns with this stuff and watch the courses. I've seen a few of these. I think they could be a little better from what I remember. I don't know, we'll have to see. You know, thinking more about it. I think I might look into it. Yeah, I might. I don't know. I'm thinking it's growing on me a bit now. Thank you, Akon. So let's take this arm, bring it over here. Okay, so I'm going to select all my joints again. Key all the channels. Why did I key this? I don't know. And what do we got here? Yeah, I'd have to figure out, if I were to make a course, I would have to make it the main things that I'm most comfortable doing. And then I would have to just, I would have to refresh myself in the manual, because I pick at the manual, but I haven't fully gone through it in a long time. So I'd have to spend a lot of time and actually do some research, plan out my course, and then find every problem that I might run into, and then go and research it all in the manual, make sure that I've got all the terms and everything correct. And because, you know, I really don't want people to pay for crap. And then people just go and pirate it. That's where I'd like that's where I would more like Patreon or something. Because like I would like my stuff to be online for free, but I would like it if maybe, I could do the tutoring thing or something, or you can get the tutorials a week or two early or something, or maybe on the Discord there was the chat channel that's there. I just have it there for the hell of it. But maybe that was a tier. Like if people wanted to sit and talk to me about SYNTHEYEs for a bit, they can bug me and I'll jump in and just talk to them for a while, and they'll have access to that tier from Patreon or something. Or if they want critiques on their demo reel, I like critiquing reels and stuff. I would love to do that on streams for everybody. But like, I don't know, that could be a tier or something. Or a tier to have your demo reel showed. Like, people will be able to watch it, like have like a dailies thing for people, but to actually submit, you have to be on a tier or something. I don't know. I've never read any manual in my life for learning software. Me neither. Just SYNTHEYEs. That's the only manual I've ever read. And that's because I panic read it when I got my job at Zoic. Okay, did I key all this? Okay, I posed this out. Let's take all this. Shift WER. What should I pose out? This frame here. Coda, you are actually showing some next level stuff on here. I don't see the same level of knowledge on industry practices. What you show here is gold compared to what is in most of the tracking tutorials. I'm sure you'd make a great tutorial. That's an amazing comment. That's probably one of the best comments I've ever had. I'm gonna print that out, put it up on my fridge. No, I really appreciate it. Like that actually like is super appreciated hearing that. What was I gonna say? Akam, agree with Coda. Danasa, the manual from Maya Arnold is actually pretty good and comprehensive. I also panic read it for a job. Yeah, Redshift has a pretty good manual. I read a bit of Redshift's manual. Yeah, Arnold, I don't know, but yeah, there's some pretty good stuff out there. Let me get this arm up. Oh boy, we're gonna have some creased skin right here. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that exactly, but we'll see. Oh yeah, I was gonna say something about Coda's. What was it? Oh yeah, yeah. Like the reason I started the track channel for the company is so that I can help out some of our in-house artists more, because I didn't have time to help them personally at the office all the time. And nothing was online. The courses, because we have accounts for these as well, and we will let artists like check out a course if they have to. None of them were really that good. Or I should say they're good. I like the courses, but they don't show enough, because there's so many problems that can happen with tracking. But because there's an infinite level of the amount of things that can happen in a shot compared to another shot, it's impossible to show it in a course, I think. I would have to super carefully plot out what type of shots will cover more variations, more problems that people would come across. I would have to find a way to cover that more extensively than anybody else. And I think I can accomplish that by showing a few simple methods of how you can overcome most of those problems. Because to me, the biggest problems is people don't know how to hand fix a camera path, which people don't talk a lot about. And they don't talk enough about easy ways to build out your scenes, I think those are the biggest things. Coda, I also read 3D's manual for a job. Nice. I should check out that manual sometime. I have no idea how it is. 3DE, I think some of their tutorials might be slightly out of date or something. I think some of them don't work as well. I'm trying to go through 3DE's stuff. I think some things changed and made some of their things out of date. Did I mess up that pinky? No, I didn't. Can I bring this in more? Yes, I can. A calm. For me, it is very hard to read, translate, and understand. It needs a lot of energy and time. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a struggle for me as well. Well, the translating part not so much, but the time. And sometimes the wording. Sometimes manuals are written by the people, you know, who made the software and they understand it. But sometimes it doesn't come out. The wording and just doesn't read well for somebody who's just learning it, who knows nothing about it. I've noticed that with a few manuals. Should I bring this out? Oh, I should just bring this out a bit. That's probably going to cause me a little bit of trouble later, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Take this, key all that. Coda, some of 3D's tutorials are good, but most of what I learned was on the job. Yeah, I've heard that too. And from what I'm seeing of 3DE, I don't believe I would be comfortable getting a job just learning from their tutorials, honestly. I don't think I would be able to do it. Let's get this transition point here. I might have to split this stream into a part 3. This hand is... I thought I shot it short enough. This is still a lot of work. So once I get this block in, I think I might just show one finger how to tweak it, like refine it. And then on another stream, I'll refine even more and show more of that. Yeah, I might have to do that. This is a lot of work. Ah, crap, which one's which? I think I'm shortening this finger too much. Coda, do you mind... Akam, Coda, do you mind if I ask where you're from? Akam's coming over. Gonna take these, let's put it down and scale this. And now for the index. Oh crap, did I grab the right one? Yes, I did. Okay, and thumb, man, I can't see where the thumb is. Figure that out when I scrub. Danasa, have you tried Unreal Engine 4, Cal? Yes, I have. I play around with it occasionally. I want to start doing dailies and stuff in it. Or, I want to start doing, yeah, some daily type stuff in it. Ah, oh, crap. That's going to be scary. Right there. I got to thicken up the pan now. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, Unreal Engine's a lot of fun. I want to start making assets again. I want to start sculpting and texture painting and stuff. And eventually, I'm probably going to start streaming more than just tracking. Or, sorry, eventually I'm going to start streaming more than just tracking. Because I do sculpt and I do texture stuff on the side for fun. I want to get a little better at it. So I might just sit and casually stream on Twitch. Not the YouTube channel, but mainly Twitch. And, yeah, I don't know. See if anything cool comes of it. I like watching people work on assets and stuff on Twitch. Akam, thank you for the advice. Every day I'm watching tutorials, but it's so hard for me to learn because I don't have any friends and I don't use English at all. Oh man. I came here to stream Maya. I didn't come here to feel. Shift WER. I got a text. Ignore that for now. Okay, so we got a key here. There. So you can see how long have I been streaming this now? I don't have anything up that tells me a time. What time is it? Oh, 8:45. Wait, 8:45. I've been doing this for an hour and a half? That's not bad. That's pretty good, man. That's actually really good. And look what I've done so far. This is almost at the level where it's fine for effects. It's fine for shadows or something because Comp does some wizardry. I don't know what they do, but they tend to... It seems like they nudge stuff in a bit more or they tweak stuff per frame, paint. But this is already almost at the point where it is suitable for effects work. Where dynamics have to interact with the hand. Or if you want to mocap, or if you just want to target that to a CG arm, Danasa. Like this is getting like you don't need 100% detail, right? You just paint out the hand and you have this animation already. And if you want the animation tighter, obviously you're just gonna go and refine these up a bit. We're in a great spot. I thought we were honestly like this felt like it was taking a lot longer to me. I'm still thinking I might... Would anybody care to see a third stream of this? Because I think I should save the refining for next week again or something, because the refining is going to take a while. This is still taking a while, even though it's only been an hour and a half. But I just don't want to go on forever. I am going to take a short break here in a second. Okay, let's select all these again. I'm so happy with the selection set thing. I don't know why I never thought of this. Just select all the joints that you want to grab. You know, actually, that's a lie. I think I have done this once before. I just disappointed I don't do it more. So I'm going to select all those, shift key all of them. You know what, the thumb, actually, let's bring this over. I can't even see what the thumb's doing. I could hide the rig for a second. Wow, there's like no thumb. Let's just curl it in then a bit or something. Kind of lie. That's not bad. That's not too bad. Probably should just have this sit in here a bit more. Okay, so there's another key. So see, like, it gets easier the more that you go. And if you're not, again, this is fine if you're not texturing. Once you have, I'll say right now, oh wait, one sec, let me read this thing. I'm actually not on work in the VFX related field, but I'm looking to get back in. The VFX scene is much smaller than in the large hubs, but not to be underestimated. Berlin and Munich are, boo, I can't pronounce that. Akam, I need a cigarette break. You should take a break out. I actually am. Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to take a break. I mean, let me do this last frame while I'm sitting on it now. Okay, and I'll key all this. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm probably gonna be 10 minutes. So what time is it? Let me wait 1 minute. So it's 8:50 p.m. PDT. So in 10 minutes for me, it's gonna be 9. So whatever it is for you guys, that's when I'll be back. All right. Yeah, in 10 minutes from now. Cool. Let me go to here, BRB, and muting my sound. Okay, I am back. Okay, now, is anybody still here? Oh, there's 4. Cool. Alright. So, hand, looking like this. I saw I got a new Twitch follower, apparently. Around 6. That just kind of got me thinking. I wonder if my Streamlabs will still notify me if I got a alert box. I do have alert box going. I guess whenever I get Twitch followers, it's always not when I'm streaming. I kind of miss when the alert box used to pop up. It was kind of nice. Let's go here. How many more frames do I gotta do to block this in, actually? Hey Cal, I forgot. Did you use GOH at all for this track? No, I did not. So here's SYNTHEYES. I just solved it raw, as it is. And I refined it so that it wasn't doing any forward back stuff, so it is nice and smooth. There's no real depth jitter. Sorry, my video is kind of right in the way of the hand there. I see. Because Maya. So yeah, it's just a straight up object solve. I didn't even do anything fancy to this. The hand being positioned in there was kind of done later. The hand doesn't really affect the solve. So yeah, nothing fancy. GOH, I don't find GOH to be accurate or, well, accurate enough or flexible enough for this. I got a notification. What was that? Weird. Alright, anyway. Yeah, there's not much to do to block this in now. So let me try rush through these last couple frames of block in. Looks like this can stand to go up to get that joint more with the joint here, and this joint to line up a bit. This here, let's try to rotate the finger first, just a bit, and now I'll take this. Wow, that was almost perfect. No, it wasn't. Looks like this one will want to rotate over a little bit. His fingers are a little crooked. It's not too bad. Looks like this one can stand to be scaled up a little bit. Okay, and now, once again, I'll select everything in my set. All the joints that I want to key, not the root. Shift WER, there we go, everything is keyed. Alright, let's get this chunk here. Actually, this looks like it might be worth for me to grab all the points. Also, by the way, if the color of the mesh is overpowering to you, like it's hard for you to see past it, come up to Show, Selection Highlighting Off. So everything will select. It's still selecting. It's just it doesn't show the bright color. So I'm going to do that now. I don't know if that's accurate. let's do this. We'll do these two separately. Ooh, this finger needs to turn this way. Wow, that's... yeah, that finger... this finger was kind of facing in the wrong angle. Hope that's right. And this one here... this looks fine. I like that one. Again, the arm is not the main focus. We can do a bit of that later. But not the main focus. This here, there's a lot of skin accumulating right here. I don't know if I can fix this one with the... you know what's kind of funny? Looking at my joints and then looking at the shadow of my actual bone in my hand. These joints are quite off. That's fine. Let's see if we can cheat the skin a little bit. Like, look how off this joint is from that bone. It's fine. There, that's a little bit closer. Okay, let's key all this again. Select all that. Shift WER. Akam, I'm back. Nice. Rage Brick. Nomenclature question. Would rotomation be roughly equivalent to match moving? Okay, I've actually talked to my boss a lot about this. There's rotomation and rotoanim. I don't fully understand the roto term being used for this at all, honestly. I don't know where that came from. I'd have to ask around. I don't know if you are aware of Matt Merck, but if you find him on Discord, that might be something he might know. I might put that on his Discord and ask him. Because he's been around longer than me. But rotomation, I don't know. I tend to call it rotoanim. Rotoanimation. Which I know rotomation is the same thing. It's actually a little bit shorter. I'm going to start saying rotomation now. Yeah, I have no clue, honestly. I would personally just like to call it match move. I would like to call a lot of things just match move. Some people call it tracking. Some people match move. I've seen people call themselves a tracking match move artist. There's people who call themselves a layout artist, but really they're also tracking and solving. There's... I would prefer if it was all just match moving. I'm on the Discord as Uncle Yeti. Oh yeah, I recognize the name. But the real question is, are you on mine? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. No obligation. No obligation at all. All right, so here, yeah, those terms. It'd be kind of nice to lock down some terms. I've heard a lot of them float around. I wish it was just match move. I don't like the term tracker, because tracking is a very specific thing, and you tend to solve things, so that's the other half. Overall, though, as a whole, you're matching the movement of a thing. Roto, I don't know where roto came from, but roto animation. Roto, maybe it had to do with, because we do a lot of silhouette kind of stuff for our full body match moves. Maybe that kind of bled in there somehow, because sometimes the only important thing was the silhouette in some shots. Yeah, wish I knew a bit more about that one. Okay, let's block in this. I hope that was satisfying, because I'm personally not too satisfied with my answer there, because that was just a wild guess. So there. Doesn't look like my middle finger moved too much, but this up here, this one. There, and once again, I'm not going to use the Y on this one. I'm going to take the base of the finger, roll it if I have to. There we go. Try not to break your fingers. Like, try not to rotate them in unnatural ways if you can help it. Fluffy Pimp? That's amazing. Oh, ha ha ha, brother match mover. Hey, how's it going? Come to watch my garbage fire of a hand rotomation. A fellow match mover? Where you work, if you don't mind me asking. Okay, so I'm going to take all my selected joints here. There we go. So there's another frame blocked in. Let's just take a look at this as well in 3D. Sometimes it's hard for you to tell from the camera's perspective, but you should make sure that you're not doing any absurd things. Like here, you can see my thumb here does a weird thing right there. Let's hit 5. Look at this. There we go. So this isn't too bad. This is looking pretty good, actually. Considering, you know, we've just blocked it in so far. And remember how I mentioned the scaling of the fingers, because I am animating the scale of some of the joints. See, it's not very present or apparent when you watch the hand moving in the shot. It is not the most harmful thing, but some clients are a little like, hey, why are you doing that? Fingers don't do that. Well, those clients who may complain aren't always the people who are actually working on the shot. Sometimes you'll get a producer or somebody who has been trained enough to know a bit about it, but then they'll complain about things that really are non-issues at all. Fluffy, sadly, I can't say as the as the contract I create with this account is not for respectable. Okay, but I work on films and commercials and such doing tracking and match move rotomation. Nice, that's good to hear you're doing it. Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing this stuff. It's very satisfying when it works, but very frustrating when it doesn't. Here I'm trying to show my method of how I do this. Like, I can hide the high res. I have a very low res mesh here. We have been primarily looking at the high res, but once all the blocking is done, we're going to be manipulating the low res to match areas of interest. This is the mesh that if you wanted to, you can take this mesh into SYNTHEYE or whatever, track your points, project it onto this mesh to some of these vertices. And then you can bring that locator back into Maya, and you can have your trackers drive some of these. I'll be honest, I don't do that. I do it all by hand. I paint clusters in certain edges, and I manually sculpt this stuff. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so where was I? Let's hide that low res again. Yeah, let's take this. Let's fix this here. That's pretty bad. And I could correct this frame, but again, I don't want to dive too deep into the in-betweens. We're just looking for our key poses here. This part just looks awful. There's actually no volume to my finger as well. Fluffy, yep. Yeah, only do that when you have to make things like scabs and freckles stick. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I did a shot for Terminator, the Terminator Dark Fate, the last one. There was some shots of whatever her, I don't know her name is, the new Terminator girl. She had some burns and stuff on some shots, and her neck was flexing around, and I did a bunch of trackers and SYNTHEYE and projected and whatever with GOH as well. I've done some things where there's a finger picking through a wound, and there needed to be extreme detail there, and yeah, there's a lot of... I project my trackers a little bit differently because I actually don't know how to get a deforming mesh out of Maya to work in SYNTHEYE. My boss and I have been diving into the manual, and we could not figure it out. Oh, somebody figured it out in Blender. I need to talk to him again. John. Was that John? John, are you here? I think John spoke to me up above earlier in the stream. Yeah, you were here. I don't know if John's still here. But I need to bug someone. I need to bug someone who can help me get this deforming mesh, this specific mesh, in the SYNTHEYE. That would be a dream come true. I might just ignore the end here, and I might cut the shot short, maybe right here. Let's go 10. Yeah, I'm going to trim the shot. I'm not going to do this whole thing, because hopefully people kind of get the idea. but I think I am gonna refine this on a separate stream. Let's make it 50. No, let's go over here. Sure, let's go 57. John, yep, still listening in the background. Nice. John, would it be cool if I bugged you one day? Like, I can export this mesh, animated. Could I give you this mesh? And do you think you'd be able to see if you can get this to work in SYNTHEYE? If I package this up, like, if I export an Alembic and FBX as well, whatever I can export, and I'll package it up with the plate, with the cameras and everything if you want it. Because I really am desperate to have this work in SYNTHEYE. You don't have to if you don't want to, because that's some work. That's some time out of your day. So feel free to say no. Okay, I don't have too many more frames to block in. So it looks like I'm going to go into here. I'm going to start doing a couple in-betweens. That thumb I'm not going to do too much on. This here, I could rotate it this way maybe. This finger, I don't want to rotate it unnaturally. So let me try rotate this here first. See what kind of length I can get up there. Okay, so that one I'm just going to bring this one up and scale it. Again, just try not to... Also, scaling sometimes is also necessary because your joints slide around and there's volume to your skin, so there isn't really a consistent distance between the joint and the surface in some parts. So I did kind of shame a lot of scaling at the beginning. I didn't really shame it. I just gave dire warnings that some clients might pick on you. But you do have to scale some of these sometimes. That's just what your skin do. It's just what your skin do. Fluffy. Oh wait, John. Yeah, definitely take a look. Don't have mine anymore though. So send Alembic. I got an Alembic working in Blender, but in Blender it came up as a cache thing in the modifiers, and I didn't know how to export it or bake the animation if that's what needed to be done. So I kind of failed there. Fluffy, does SYNTHEYE accept Alembics these days? Yeah, it does. If so, that might be the way. Yeah, it does accept Alembic, but for some reason my deforming meshes from Maya won't. They'll come out in the Alembic sometimes, but SYNTHEYE still won't read it for me. I don't know why. But yeah, SYNTHEYE does read Alembics. Let's see, this one here, roll that in. Oh man, there's a lot of space over here. I could dig this up and... that's not too bad. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't like that wrist. It's not too bad, actually. Fluffy, if you don't mind me asking, how did you find the stream? Did you come off of YouTube or wait, what are you in? No, you're on Twitch. Did you just randomly find it on Twitch? Or did you come from like Hugo's Discord? Hugo has my stream go on his Discord. Hugo's desk. Just curious how you managed to drop in. Art category. Nice. Just cruising through Twitch on art. Oh, I didn't read your other message. Yeah, Synth is awesome and a dumpster pile at the same time. Yeah, but was programmed by one madman. Yeah, that's a funny way to put it. Yeah, SYNTHEYE has some weird things about it. Definitely. I like that it has a bunch of different ways to do the same thing, but you know, it could be a little... the organization could be a little funny sometimes. So, oh, here we go. So I'm just gonna... Okay, so I think I'm done most of this part here. Now I'm just gonna do a couple of these frames fast, because now the block-ins are kind of done. Once you block things in, the rest of it becomes pretty quick. And again, the detail that I'm going for this level, this is the level that you could use this for effects, like some shadow casting, some lighting if they wanted to. I've had a few clients do that. And next, yeah, I am going to stream this maybe next week on Saturday at the same time, where I'm going to go in and actually really, really refine some of the points here and there and see if we can get it to the detail where you could apply a texture. Akam, I wish I could have PF track, don't we all? Fluffy, the trick I do is match move as best as you can, track detail markers and SYNTHEYEs, then bring those trackers back into Maya, then bake their Z depth to the surface of the polygons. Oh man, I wish we had a script for that. I used to have a script for that in Zoic, but we never got that in hydraulics, and we don't have one at the moment now. We have actually a script for it, I lied, but we're trying to get it going. Bake the Z depth to the surface of the polygon, then put a bone at each of those markers, then drive the skin offsets with those bones. That's exactly it. 100%. Fluffy, oh yeah, this is plenty good for a lot of purposes. Yeah, completely agree with your description there. Man, I wish that I had a script that I can use at home to project a point. That's why I want this deforming mesh in SYNTHEYEs, because you can easily project the points there. So yeah, this right now I'm just going to be doing really quick, fast adjustments to this, because the rest of the work I'll do with clusters, and yeah, we'll see if I actually attempt to get some trackers in here next stream, if John's able to help me out. That webbing, that's pretty intense. This finger, I'm going to bring this one up here. Actually, I shouldn't move that one. I'm going to take this one. It's kind of a dangerous move on that one, but that's fine. The finger here, we'll see if I can extend it by rotation. Yes, I can. Always, if your finger's too short or something, always try to get the length correct by rotating it first before you try to scale. Again, try to avoid scale as much as you can. Which one's this? Ah, good. I'm gonna bring this down. There we go. Oh yeah, this is plenty. Totally would be awesome. Yeah. All right. So, let's see. Got that. Let's see. Next frame. Oh, that's not too bad. Ooh. Okay, so we just got this here, which I'll rotate that way. Rotate this way on the X. I do gotta remember, I should key all these, like every channel on all these frames like I have been, but it's not as important to key all these channels once you've gotten all your block-in frames done. So I'm not too concerned, but it's a habit I like to keep. This isn't looking too bad. Okay, so I should save. Let me save it now. Fluff. I think I just heard 100 asset guys get their guns when you scale it. I do it all the time too, though. Yeah, that's the thing. Was like, I've had a lot of arguments with people about this at studios that I've worked for, and some studios, Zoic actually, there was a rigger, and he was concerned about scale, and it had to do with bump maps. So I was telling him, oh well, you can apply the gain to the world control, or if our scales are doing something, just do the rotations or something. Actually, that's also like what I said to Danasa in the chat. If you're going to retarget this animation to a CG hand, your hand's going to be painted out. So target your rotations to your rig, and you're fine, because your hand's not going to be there. Yeah, some clients like just don't understand the things that need to be done to have match move work, because lenses aren't perfect, and because lenses aren't perfect, no matter how good your rig is not going to account for the volume, folds, and skins, and muscles, and everything because you have to manipulate that stuff. There's just no way around it. And if you can't do it with the rig, you're going to deform it. And if you deform it, your joints don't matter too much now. But yeah, scaling this stuff, yeah, I don't get a lot of complaints about that. Actually, I don't get any complaints about it. Because we don't even give our rigs to our clients most of the time. Actually, all the time. We don't really give the rigs to our clients. They're just happy with what we give them. Yeah, some people freak out and they just don't understand. Like, you don't need this to be like this. Yeah, trying to explain that to some people is just the worst. Fluffle, someone who understands. Absolutely. Right on. Yeah, I studied to be a generalist. I wanted to do generalist stuff. I didn't get a job as a generalist. I started tracking, and then I just rolled with it because I kind of like tracking. But I use that knowledge now to help me with my match moves and communicate with other artists. So that's helped me out a lot. Okay, so for whoever is still here and not completely bored. Oh, wait, I'm about to wrap up what I'm going to be doing for tonight. This arm I don't care about. I'm going to do this arm very, very crudely right now. Have the match move gods frown on me. Oh, it's so bad. This is terrible. That part's pretty ugly. I could do something like this, but again, that's kind of breaking my mesh a little bit. I would have to extend it down a bit. I'll have to figure out if I want to fix that or not. Like, again, if anybody cares, you could just extend this. Better monitor how you position your pieces when you start and when you're blocking it in, because that's what the point of blocking stuff in is for, is to get the rough shapes and make sure everything works. I didn't care about the arm too much, and that kind of it bit me just now. Because this mesh here is really collapsing in on itself. I should have noticed from on the last frame, if I extend it out, it's fixed like this. And then on the other frames, I would make sure that the joint is kind of positioned like that. I don't have a lot of keyframes here. I could jump to the keys and fix it like this. I don't care too much, honestly. So I'm just really, really poorly dragging it out each frame. It's going to be bouncing in and out, but it doesn't matter. So you can see the weird bubbling arm. We'll see if I make that look better. The main focus is the hand. That's the whole point of this. Fluff. When I met the guy that made sense, you met him? My boss met him too, I think. I'm not so lucky. Anyway, he was a nice guy, but yeah, kind of ran away from me when I tried to shake his hand. Proper Doc Brown sword. That's amazing. I love his voice. I like copying his voice. I keep doing that at work. Now, today, we're going to be looking at some 2D tracking in SYNTHEYE. So if you look here, we've got all these colors. And we went up to script, and anyway. I love the voice. Unfortunately, we're done with SYNTHEYE, and we're going to go over here. Now you see our forearm isn't matched very well, and that's an R. I like how he pronounces error. Yeah, I don't remember his accent, but he says error, like R. I love it. Dying laughing. That's awesome. Dying laughing over here. More R. Yeah, I love the R thing. Now, so... Oh, that one is a particularly bad jump right there. Oh, let's bring it down here. Okay. Okay, anyway, so here's the thing. I'll show... I should look for the scripts for anybody who wants to follow, or if anybody watches the stream back on YouTube or something. Anybody who wants to follow, I'll try to find a link to this, to the guy who... There's a guy who makes these scripts that gives you stabilizer, some baking tools and stuff. Because we're going to be stabilizing. Because here's stabilizing. So I'm going to select a point. Oh, by the way, this is just how a tool that we're making custom a track. If I select this, so you won't have stabilization like this on a point. But here you can watch and you can see that the mesh still slides on the skin. If I nab on, stick to the palm, we could see, that's not too bad, man. But you can see the palm slides around a little bit. Looking at the thumb, at the webbing, you can see, like, this is pretty bad. This is a result of me handling the joint poorly. But this is where I go in and I go work on the low res. See the low res here, if I take this point, if I were to make a cluster, I'm just going to use a cluster. You can make joints. Joints are a little better for this. They're a lot better for this. But see, if I show the high res, I'm moving more, right? I'm moving the high res here. So I can key this and I can nudge it. You can actually nudge like you can in SYNTHEYE. I don't always do this like per point, but it takes a while, but it doesn't take as long as you think, because there's a lot of shots, or if you were tracking this in SYNTHEYE, there's a good chance that you are going to have your track, you're going to be manually tweaking your tracker every single frame, which actually makes it the exact same amount of work as you nudging the vertice here in Maya. But here, if you hold Alt and your arrow keys, you can nudge your points around from the camera space. So this point here, I was just nudging around, and you could see it sticks a little bit better now compared to the rest of the thumb, because I made a really cheap, fast cluster. And I'll show you one more thing before I close out the stream. I'll give you an idea of what we're gonna do for like the fingers. If we look at the fingers, and I'll stabilize. Once again, I'm sorry, your stabilize isn't going to work the same as this. If I can get that guy's link, for anybody watching this who wants to stabilize with the guy's script, you would select a joint, probably a joint or a tracker, and then stabilize on that. For me, I can stabilize on points. So did I do it? Yeah. Okay, so the point, if we look at the fingertip here, it's not perfect there. So you could spend all the time in the world manipulating the joints. But that can introduce a lot of problems. That's why I didn't manipulate the fingers too much, like on too many frames, because I don't want the joints having uneven warping across the length of a finger. So I do a general rotation and I do a general scale. I try not to do too many individual scales or individual rotates. Because now I can, hold on, I'm going to select my low res. I'm going to take a cluster up at the top. Hold on, I'm going to select these two. Oh, my bad, I extruded it. And now grow, 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 grow. I should be using the hotkey. Oh well. Now I've selected the finger. I could go cluster, and now right click, paint, cluster, bam, and I'll open up the toolbox over here so I get this, and I'm going to replace with a value of 0, and now we're going to paint a value of 1. I'm going to start from the top. Let's go from here. And now, if I go smooth, spam the smooth a few times. Now, what I got is... where's my outline? So, we have our cluster here. The clusters, don't name them. Don't be messy with the clusters if you're going to use clusters. I use clusters a lot, but joints are better. But if you're going to use clusters, treat them dirty like they are. So now, I can go high res, I can watch the finger warp, I can watch the tip, and now I'm keying this. I can go now across, and again, you could see my fingers moving slightly. That's because I'm holding Alt and then using the arrow keys to nudge this finger. So this finger will not take too long. Again, if you're going frame by frame, nudging things around, this is the equivalent of nudging a tracker, a perfect tracker in SYNTHEYE. So you're not losing time this way, really. It depends on how good you make your trackers in SYNTHEYE, though. Again, this is the kind of thing that typically you might get like a good couple of weeks to work on, or like a good week or something. But see how I keep bringing it into position. So if I scrub back here now, you can see I'm scrubbing the tip of the finger. Look at how it sticks now. It's not perfect because I did that really fast, but that is so much better. See, like, and when you play the footage, look at how much better that looks. So yeah, that is a little preview of what I'll likely be doing more of next Saturday. So yeah, I hope that was interesting. Yeah. Anyway, unless anybody has any questions, I'm done. I'm done for now, and I'll do the same time next week. Saturday at 7 p.m. PDT. Yeah, so Fluff, I don't know if you're into Discord, but if you wanted to, you know, there's a YouTube channel for Track Effects. This is also streaming on YouTube. So if you want to see that next week or keep up to it or whatever, you probably know all this stuff, so you know. Oh hey, I'm back. Oh, is he just gone? Followed, nice. But yeah, you know, if you're interested in seeing this stuff. Yeah, so is there anything? Akam, thank you, bro. Akam, I hope this is cool. Akam is actually the one who asked if I can do a hand. So, yeah. Fuffle, nah. And everyone has new bags of tricks to learn. Absolutely. I would love to experience some more studios and just see more tricks. See what everyone has to offer. I thought this hand was going to be even scarier because it's not like, I don't know how many people would really agree or really want to do a Rotomation on stream, because there's a lot that can go wrong with a thing like this. I don't think I've seen anyone do this on a stream at all, and probably for good reason. But yeah, this is looking a lot better than I thought it would. At this stage, this was just blocked in. How long have I been doing this now? 2.5 hours ish. So this is actually making great time. This is amazing time. This already, you can give this for effects work. This would be done. You can give this for effects work, lighting, shadowing, and comp kind of does wizard things, and they kind of tweak the edges and stuff as they need to, just to nudge everything on frames or whatever. Yeah, it's wizardry. There is a billion ways to skin a cat in VFX. Akam, man, I don't think I can do this thing. I'm so impatient. I absolutely. Yeah, this is not fun. It depends on who you ask. If you ask a psychopath, he'll tell you this is fun. But yeah, you definitely have to be patient, and if you ever do a thing like this for your own project, just try to work your project around where it's not long, or you don't compress your skin. Yeah, try to make it easy on yourself. Okay, yeah, so that's about it. Fluffa, my longest match move took about 5 weeks. Wow. What was my longest? I did a sequence for the project that I wish I could talk about. Can't talk about it for like a year now. But it had a crazy like multicam motion capture, and like skin had to stick everywhere, and the clothing and everything had to drape and actually be in the correct space. That was a lot of work. I think those came out to be about a month, but that was a few shots. Ew. Face replace stuff. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. All right, so if there's nothing too crazy, if there's no more super crazy questions, I'm gonna jump out of here. Let's look at this in space again. Might as well. Ooh, that thumb. Right there, wow. Look at that, I have to fix that. Why does that look that bad? Oh. Okay, well that's too far. This frame is the wrong one. This is too far out. Why would I do that? Why didn't anyone stop me? Yeah, that'll need to fix. Alright, cool. Thank you for watching. And, yeah, I'm gonna jump into this screen. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will do more of this hand in 1 week, and I'll likely stream a couple other smaller shots midweek, because I want to do a few more small shots again. So yeah, thank you. Goodbye.